Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Magic Square MSB 43 Shadow Master. This is of course their version of a Legend Scale G1 Mirage. He's a great figure. I know it's a bit late to get him to the review table, but things are a little backed up right now. Here's a quick look at the box, but we're not here for boxes, right? Let's go ahead and get started. Well, it does fit nicely enough in either one of his hands. He also comes with his shoulder-mounted rocket launcher, which looks really good. The black plastic isn't painted, but the end does have some silver paint on it, and so does the missile. The missile actually does detach, which is a nice addition. To attach the shoulder rocket, you can do it on either side using these slots on either side of his head. It actually slides in from the back. Holds decent enough, giving you that look, which does pivot thanks to the ball mechanism and does go up quite a bit. So you've got lots of options there. And that brings us to the figure. I gotta say, despite a few minor negatives, I do like him. Let's take a look at the face. Nicely done. All just plastic except for the eyes, but it does look really good. You do have the ability to do a full 360. Just bear in mind, it is tight here on the back, so you maybe just push back a little bit on the housing. And you can do a full 360. He can look up. He can look down a little bit. And definitely you can get some attitude. Just dark and light blue across the shoulders. Speaking of shoulders, you can do a full 360. Can go up there for 90 degrees, which I wish they would have added a joint here rather than have it go to the top of the shoulder. Allowed it to come out straight, but that's minor. You do have arm rotation on a ball just above the elbow. You can move these up out of the way, but that does reveal the ball mechanism. Hands do rotate. They are on a ball again. Arm does actually have some paint. The black there is painted, but the white, I believe, is all just white plastic. And the finger or the hands that you get are open hand gripping hands. Now, a lot of people don't like the light blue around the chest, but it is cartoon accurate, so it's nice. The white, I believe, on the chest is painted. Let me know if I'm wrong, but it definitely has the look and feel of a painted surface. He does have full 360 on the waist. And he does have an ab crunch. Now, per the directions, the spoiler is supposed to be folded up like this. But I really don't like the way that that looks. You do get the full ab crunch doing it this way. But for me, I think it looks better if you fold down the fins for the spoiler. Allowing them to tuck around the sides. I think that personally that looks better. And you don't lose anything as far as the ab crunch. It's still there. So do what you will. For me, I think that looks better. As far as the waist, you do get full 360. Just bear in mind it rubs a little bit on the sides of the car. Coming out of the legs, get the hip skirts out of the way. You do have an excellent amount of kick up because The front hip skirts do rotate inside the leg as you lift it. Notice the side skirts do too. No back because of the way that it's sculpted, which seems to be the norm for Magic Square right now. You can get out that far with the legs, which is a bit disappointing. You do have thigh rotation. You got a double jointed knee, which gives you quite a bit of motion. And the feet, they do rotate in, and you do have up and down motion, which is nice. For me, I really think he's well engineered and definitely a nice version of Mirage. So let's take a look at the alt mode. And I gotta say, it's fantastic. Looking at the side, the blue is just blue plastic, but you do have the white lettering, which is not just painted on, it's embossed, so it's raised and has texture to it. It's a nice touch. Got silver paint on the rims with black plastic tires. Looking at the front, you got the light blue spoiler coming through. The white, this definitely has a feel like it's painted, but I don't think it is. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I don't believe so. Here's a view from the back, nothing much to write home about. And the view from the top. You've got a nice steering wheel inside the cockpit, blue plastic with white paint, silver on the engine. I believe the kneecaps are painted light blue, but I might be wrong. But silver paint on the venting. I do dislike that there's gaps here, but I mean, that could have been a minor flap they could have added, but it's not a huge issue. It still looks good. Overall, I think it's a fantastic looking race car in alt mode for Mirage. And I know that a lot of people wanted to see this comparison, so we'll bring in drag strip. And honestly, I think that they do scale perfectly together. So final thoughts. Let's start with the negatives. I gotta admit, there are some tolerance issues with this guy, and the joints are pretty stiff, but I imagine that has to do with the paint that is present. I forgot to mention during the look at the robot, the legs are nicely done, as you can see. I like the way the tires stick out and they're not covered or anything like that, which is pretty much what you expect for the character. I wish there was more as far as hand options and even accessories that come with them. Maybe some sort of box that gave you the illusion that he was turning invisible. Even a parachute would have been interesting. But positives outweigh the negatives. I mean, he's tremendous. The sculpt is definitely what you would expect of the character. The way that he's done, the engineering is fantastic. A lot of people may not agree with me, but that's how I feel. Articulation is spot on, with what you would expect. Magic Square does seem to be stepping up their game as far as the engineering that they're putting into their figures now. It really is fantastic to see. Now, I picked this up from the Chosen Prime at TFCon, so definitely check them out. I believe they still have them in stock, but he is a recommend for me. I actually have two, so I like him that much. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and don't forget to get your bell on so you get notified of future content. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.